All right. So this is the second attempt on this stream, which I don't know how many people will be able to get to join. I'm going to share this link aggressively. Uh, Make sure people know that we're still out here doing this. Um, I still got my patron Matt Gant here, the dude checking out a whole bunch of new Riff pours. Uh, we're going to go through several of them. We've talked a little bit already, but just because I think the video is probably gone, I wanted to rehash with you guys. Sorry, I'm posting a new link, so I want to make sure people actually can see this video. Hopefully they will pick up on the fact that the old video is gone and go look at the page and go, what the hell happened? And then join up. We'll see. Nobody's joined in yet. So I won't feel compelled to blab and blab and blab then because no one's listening yet. But yeah. Yep. That's how it goes sometimes. Technology can be difficult. I'm trying to share this link in a couple different places. Hopefully people will see it. The whole live streaming thing is something I'd really like to do from my phone, but I'm not sure why. But for some reason, YouTube won't let me do that. I don't have enough subscribers. So go ahead and subscribe if you can see this. That'll make it a lot easier for me in the future to make these videos. And when an error comes into place, I can just pop up my phone and not have to worry about anything. But as it stands, we'll see how that goes. We might be able to make this work. People will figure it out. They'll be watching. Got somebody came back. Somebody knows we're here. Okay. Just wash that all off.
Namaste.
That's right. Namaste.
Namaste.
Dude. Just let the bad vibes go back into the sea like a wave on an ocean. Okay. Now, let's get into tasting this. As we talked about before, I'll just show you this real quick again. We've got two barrels here. One of them you said was a pick from the master distiller, right?
Yep.
And the other one is from the B line, which is is it a liquor store?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, it's a liquor store in Kentucky. They're 1 barrel apart. They are 0.5% different. We are starting with the master distiller pick, 111.9 proof, the lower proof of the two. Yep, we're finally back, Trevor. We've finally got this shit going. So let's go ahead and give this thing a nosing. First off, the color on this is beautiful. I love the color on these new Riff picks. Mm-hmm. Like, that's hard to do in my mind after 4 years.
Yeah, for 4 years. I mean,
like that's I mean, I don't know if you guys can see how pretty that looks, but I'm a big fan. Ooh. Now I get almost like a light herbal quality on that. It's very sweet right away, but then as you kind of sniff it for a while, it's kind of herbal notes.
I'm getting like a sweet maple almost.
Oh yeah, that sweetness is definitely like maple syrup. Very sugar sweet. I get a little bit of I guess I would say it's like a mintiness. It's subtle, but I think it's there. I'm gonna try not to cheat. Another fun thing about these new Riff single barrels, if you haven't gotten one, is on the bottles they give you tasting notes, which I really like. I think that's great. But when you're trying to do this kind of thing, it becomes too easy to be like, well, what am I supposed to taste? And that's not what we're doing here. This is supposed to be, what do we think it tastes like? And then if they say something different, well, that's their palate. Now, it is hard to argue with the master distiller, but you know.
Now, for most of these bottles that are mine, I actually do have all my notes and whatnot written down.
There we go. Perfect. Now that's going to be fun because then we'll see, oh, did you find the same thing twice?
Right. Yep.
See, that's a fun thing to do too. I like that you write them down. I'm bad about doing that because of all the videos, but I can go back and look at them later. So, what did Trevor say? 2 store picks are really close together. We'll show details in about 15. I look forward to reading it, man. Okay, let's give this a taste. Ooh. I really like that sweet grain in the mid palate.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like a wheat. It's a soft, sweet grain.
Yep.
And the finish on that just lingers.
Yeah, I've kind of noticed that with a lot of the new Riff picks. That's kind of one of the trademarks I've noticed is it kind of hangs out with you for a minute.
And that's great. I mean, that's so hard to get from any whiskey, let alone a 4-year-old, something without that much time on oak.
Right. I almost got like a lemon citrus almost.
On the palate?
Yep.
Yeah, I get like a lemon zest.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's not super.
It's not sweet and citrusy, but
No,
it's got that.
no,
It's got that sharpness of
Yep.
the citrus. Yeah. You know what? Have you ever smelled lemon balm?
Mm-mm.
Lemon balm is a great little herb that my girlfriend likes, so I know what it smells like. It's got that lemony with a slight herbal note with a slight sweetness. This smells a lot like lemon balm to me. Especially after tasting it, you go back on the nose. I get some of that citrus. Before I came here, I took photos of how much a half ounce and 1/3 of an ounce and 1/4 of an ounce looks like in one of these glasses, because I'm like, I gotta drive home, and I know he's got a shitload of new Riff picks, so I want to be able to not even think about it, just look and be like, yep, that's that many ounces. Drink smart, everybody. Drink smart. Be safe.
Sure.
It ain't worth it. Fucking call it Uber. It ain't worth it. Man. All right. Now let's see what their notes are. Sweet oak. Yep. Toffee and mint aromas. I got the mint. I don't know if I got the toffee. You said maple, and I tend to agree with you. I get more maple than toffee.
Yeah.
But going back on the nose, I do get the sweet oak. But it's subtle. It's people talk about oak with bourbon, and you're thinking of like big, bold, woody, almost astringent. It's so woody, like a stag or something, or a stag junior. This is much more gentle than that. They say opens up into a caramel nugget and sugar cookie flavors with a big peppery spice. I got the peppery spice. I don't know if I got sugar cookie. That's a very... I mean, it's sweet.
I got the sweetness up front, but I don't know...
See, I don't get any breadiness from this, which is what I associate with a sugar cookie. It's like the bready note and the sugar note.
Sure.
But for me, this is more grainy. Leading to a big peppery spice, full-bodied finish of pepper and cinnamon. I definitely get that cinnamon on the finish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good pour. Well, I mean, all these new Riffs are good pours. Now, now of these pours that we've got here, we do have quite a few.
Mm-hmm.
How many of these did you pick up yourself? How many of these did you find somebody bought for you? What's the breakdown on these?
The vast majority of them, someone else is. I've gotten them off of somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a few back here. Pretty much all the big red picks I've got.
Yeah.
The cap and cork pick I got up in Fort Wayne.
Okay. Cool.
I've got a Payless pick that I picked up, and then the Vine and Table pick.
Nice. Okay, so let's go ahead and try the barrel right next door. That was 154128. This is 154127. Trevor, how long are these aged? So almost all of the new Riff store picks are 4 years. These are pretty close to that. The one we just tasted was almost exactly. It was barreled 7/16/15, bottled 7/30/19. So 4 years and 14 days. This next one is a wee bit older. It was 7/16/15, same barreling date, but 8/27/19 on the bottling. So about a month later, they bottled this. So 1 month on oak will have some effect on the flavor, but the vast majority of what we're comparing here at side by side is how much of an effect do you have based on just what kind of barrel, what that wood is, what those staves are like, because they're the same place in the warehouse. The rick house is going to have this barrel next to the other barrel. All right. Now, right off the bat, this is a gentler nose to me.
Yeah, it's not as loud.
Right. Which is interesting because this is higher proof, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. Proof's on everything, guys. Go ahead and cap this. I have a bad habit of hitting things on tables.
I still get that sweet note off of it, though.
Yes.
It's not necessarily a maple anymore, but it's definitely.
This is a little bit narrower. It's like a honey, maybe. But it doesn't have the maple and honey and even toffee. Like there's sweetness and something else. Mm-hmm. This is a lot more of almost maybe like a corn syrup, like a very pure sugary.
Yeah.
For those of you just joining, this is the second of the two barrels that were right next to each other in the new Riff lineup we've got tonight, and we've got a whole bunch of them lined up here, so it's gonna be a good time. Now, I think I like that one better. It's very balanced. It's very soft on the palate.
Very soft. It's almost, I don't know.
That's amazing that's lower proof, or that's higher proof than the first one. I would never guess that in a million years.
It's not super strong, but I almost get like, it's almost buttery.
Mm-hmm. There's definitely a buttery texture on this.
Mm-hmm.
Try to put this so it's not blocking Matt's face. That's my bad. I should be paying attention to that shit.
Yeah, I don't want to look at it anyway.
Just make them jealous,
Yeah.
Put my water right here, so I'm framed by all of my liquids. God, I just love the nose on this one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting like a touch of a sourness. Just a little bit. And whereas that other one had the citrus note, this one's giving me like, it's definitely a fruit, but maybe like a sour fruit.
Yeah.
Maybe like the lemon itself, the meat of the lemon instead of a lemon zest. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it.
It's like not really, but it's almost like a Sour Patch Kid almost. Like
yeah, it has a candy sourness. Yeah, between the corn syrup and the sourness, it definitely has this candy component to it. Such an easy drinker. I love looking down this glass. I can see oil in it, which I fucking love.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Like, if you ever see oil on water, it has that slick sheen to it. There's just a touch of that going on in this, which I think is very, very cool. That means they're not doing some sort of bullshit filtering on this. This is just coming into it as it is. Yeah, non-chill filtered. It's good stuff to know. I'm having trouble pulling specific notes, though, because it is so gentle and balanced.
I mean, it's not super complex. It's just
I'm gonna cheat. So they say opening notes of clove, anise, and mixed berries that yields to charred oak, vanilla, and more honeyed dark fruits. So notes of clove, anise, and mixed berry. See, to me, clove is a lot more. So this, I get a little bit of like barrel woodiness on the beginning, but that's not clove to me. Clove to me is like a very specific flavored spice. Like it always makes me think of Christmas ham because my grandma always made Christmas ham with a shitload of cloves. But I don't get the cloves or the anise for that matter. I mean,
I'm wondering if, as you were saying, you're getting that more of a sour note on the nose.
Yeah,
so I'm wondering if that's the.
That could be the anise.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could be calling that the anise. I don't know if I agree with that, but I think you're right. I think that's what they're saying is the anise. The mixed berry, I definitely get. I mean, there's some sort of fruity sweetness on this that's there. Okay. They say it yields a charred oak, vanilla, and honey dark fruit. Definitely get the charred oak. That's right away. Maybe a touch of vanilla, but I'm used to the vanilla that's coming out like Buffalo Trace, where it's like vanilla. It is boom in your face. There's a little bit of dark fruit in this, but yeah, I mean, the standout about this, which is something you can't really write in a tasting note, is how smooth and balanced it is.
Yeah,
that doesn't translate to a tasting note.
Yeah, but, I mean, it's all the way through. Nose through the palate. I mean,
yeah,
it's pretty consistent.
That's a solid one, though. Mm-hmm. All right, so now what time is it? Just for kicks. Yeah, perfect timing. So a friend of mine, if he's watching, shout out Jordan. He recently got his hands on the brand new Rural Inn pick, one of the local liquor stores in Indianapolis, the Bourbon Honey Hole, a big favorite of mine. We've got two different picks from the Rural Inn here. One is the unopened pick that was sent to Jordan, the most recent pick, which was actually just barreled this year, 323. The other one is from 2019. They're about the same age. It looks like almost exactly the same age because they're both almost exactly 4 years and 1 month. So that'll be cool too. Having no age difference, just looking at essentially 6 months in time and how that affects these bottles. So let's go ahead, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to open the pick that is currently unopened, the newest one, just to give it a chance to breathe a little bit while we taste. Well, now I got to actually fucking open it. While we taste the older pick. Oh yeah, I'm on camera now, so it's all going to go to shit. There we go. Hey, there it is. If you're too drunk to open the bottle, you can't drink it. It's a good rule of thumb. All right. Get that breathing for a moment.
That changed up a little bit.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
It's different, huh? Before we do that, I'm going to rinse this out.
Yeah.
Can you pull your notes for that beeline pick?
I actually don't have notes for the beeline.
Oh, okay.
I've got notes for the distillery pick, though.
All right, pull the notes for the distillery pick. Because I want to see how different that is from what you said.
That beeline is my most recent acquisition.
Oh, okay, so. Cool.
So I got maple, oak, and citrus.
Almost exactly what we got this time.
Butterscotch, sugar cookie, and slight oak on the taste.
Okay, I can definitely see that. Yeah. The butterscotch. See, I think where you were pulling that butterscotch, that was probably this time I was getting it to be the. Well, you said it too. I think the lemon note. A lot of times that butterscotch to me also sometimes shows up like sweet and you get the sweet and fruit note together. And I don't really know why, because that's not really what butterscotch is, but sometimes that can show up like that. So, what did George say? Shelves a new Riff in the back. Oh yeah, man. Like, hold on a second. Can you see that box of new Riff up there? Right there? Yeah. This man's serious about his new Riff. Serious business. Oh man. Yeah, I knew you'd be excited, Jordan. And we're about to taste the one, Jordan, that you have a bottle of. So, but first, we're going to taste the previous edition of the Rural Inn pick. For anyone's curious, barrel 153932, barreled 63015, bottled 73019. Whoa, and it's so different. It just always catches me how much variance there is in these bottles, because they're all so damn similar on paper, but they're not in your palate at all.
So I'm getting punched in the nose with caramel green apple.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get a lot of green apple, a lot of caramel. I get some vanilla in there too. But yeah. Oh man, it's like I almost get like a caramel corn note. Oof. I love it. Trevor said, so my two bottles are Gaze hops and schnapps picked. distilled 12/7/15, bottled 2/25/20. The other was a veranda pick, distilled 12/8/15 the next day, and bottled 2/25/20 the same day. There you go. Distilled one day apart, bottled the same day, 32 barrels apart. That is a good side by side to do. You're going to get some good information out of that. Okay. So let's take a sip of this. I love the smell. Oh. I really like that. So one of the notes that keeps coming up on a lot of these is sugar cookie. I just got that in the mid palate on this one. It's, the other ones talked about fruit, but this one is specifically fruity to me and right off the bat. A lot of vanilla too. The vanilla is showing up for me more and more. There's a lot of fruit on this.
That one's also extremely oily.
Oh yeah, yeah. The legs on these glasses are insane. Like we're not putting that much in here, and you're getting crazy good legs. So what are the notes on this?
We got cherry, banana.
Ooh, banana.
Charred oak.
Yeah.
With flavors of grilled apricot. Not to be mistaken with ungrilled apricot.
I love that note so much. Yes, I smell the grilled apricot. Mm.
And then leather and cinnamon.
Yeah, okay. I get the leather for sure. Cinnamon definitely shows up, but it's more prominent in some of their other pours.
Mm-hmm.
Grilled apricot. We have to grill some fucking apricots.
Yeah,
just because I have no reference point for grilled apricot.
I mean, there can't be that much of a difference, right? I mean, maybe that chart.
I don't know, man.
Is it propane grilled or is it charcoal?
Write something in the chat if you have grilled apricot and let us know how much it changes the flavor, because I got no point of reference for that. Grilled apricot. Okay. Definitely fruity though. 3 of the notes they mentioned. Banana, which is a cool one. I know what they're talking about, but it doesn't read like banana. Right. There are some pours out there that just really have a banana.
It's like a dried banana.
Yeah, like a banana chip or something. Yeah. It's subtle, but it's there.
Another thing to note.
Jordan, you have to eat a lot of grilled apricots to be able to taste it. Yeah, I figure that's some deep cuts there.
So on this distillery pick we had, another thing to note on it. This was barreled 7/30/19, and so was this Rulon pick.
Oh, so the one we just had was barreled the same date, as that first one. That's pretty cool. It's amazing. All of these are pretty significantly different. There are certain, reoccurring themes. They all are relatively fruit forward. They all,
I get oak in all of them.
Yeah, they all have that charred oak. Some are more charred than others, but they all have some of that woodiness. Mm-hmm. I would say the first one probably was the least charred, but it still had the oakiness.
Yeah.
And then I've got a lot of cinnamon. I don't know if everyone has had cinnamon, but I've had it several times. So that's pretty cool. All right, Jordan, pay attention. This is the one that I sent you, or that someone sent you, or whatever. This one is barreled 2/26/16, bottled 3/25/20, 113.3 proof. Relatively low proof. Well, not compared to some of them, but of the ones we've tasted, I think this might be the lowest proof. This one got a lot of discussion in some of the local whiskey groups. Very popular pick, very popular pour. Ooh, and boy, it smells good. Here, we better cap that one. I'm going to cap this one as well, just to be safe. It's much easier to uncap it than it is to pick it up off the floor. Ooh.
Yeah,
that is sweet. I get corn on the nose.
Yep, that's exactly what it is.
I get corn. I get a little bit of baking spice. It's that cinnamon again, but it's more of the raw cinnamon. Sometimes you get a candied cinnamon. Sometimes you get a raw cinnamon. To me, this is raw.
You get something tangy. It's really.
You know what this smells like? My girlfriend has gotten really into these lately. They are little chocolate-covered orange candies that you can get from Trader Joe's. And that orange candy note, I'm getting something like that.
That's what I'm picking up.
That sweet citrus, but it's not sharp.
It's not like it's artificial orange. It's
yes,
not, it's
yes, exactly. It's artificial orange. It smells really good, guys. Here, smell. Didn't work? Fuck, oh well. All right, let's taste this. It is oaky and creamy. I get a lot of spice on the finish, but it's not overwhelming. It doesn't kick you in the ass. Ooh. And you almost get this, it keeps changing on the finish. Just subtle, I don't know if I'd call it sour, but
bitter.
Yeah, but it's not really. I mean, I get a little wood bitter, but there's another kind of bitter in there.
Okay.
Maybe like a nuttiness or something. Because I get bitterness like mid palate, but then like almost way into the finish, I get something else. Right there's the wood bitter. It dissipates. Just becomes oaky. Right there. There's a sour. It's like it reminds me almost in some ways of a very lightly finished whiskey. When they finish them in some of those wine barrels, you get this wine grape sourness.
Yeah.
That's depending on how long they finish it. It can be really powerful or it can be subtle. I get just this tiny hint of that on the like way at the end of the finish.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
I get that.
Yeah.
Now that you've said it, I can pick that up.
Yeah, you see what I'm talking about. Oh man, that's fucking good. Ah, yeah, the sour mash. Good joke, Jordan. All right, let's see what these flavor notes are. We got orange pale, vanilla bean, and charred oak. Definitely got that. See, now I got the cinnamon as the raw earthy note, but they're saying vanilla bean. I can see the vanilla, but I get where they're coming from. You get that artificial orange, and then there's this raw earthy component. And I think I would have called it cinnamon. They're calling it vanilla bean. Charred oak's definitely there. Charred oak's in a lot of these.
Yep.
Leads now. This is here we go. Lead into cornbread and a mixed dark berry sweetness, cut dry by a rye spice finish. Cornbread.
I've gotten that before. I've gotten cornbread.
Did you get cornbread out of this? I mean, we smelled it pretty corny.
I mean, it smelled corny. I mean, I got the sweetness. Usually when I get cornbread, it stands out pretty well.
Yeah, that's what I would say. There's a bready note, but it's not cornbread.
I'm not getting cornbread at all.
Somebody is mixing up the corn note and the bread note because they are separate here. Like, I get a little bit of corn right at the beginning of the taste, and then later you get this breadiness. And the corn is almost mixed in with that charred oak, and then the breadiness is mixed in with the that like sweet. I wouldn't call it. They say a dark berry. I don't really get a dark berry note. They also mentioned the rye spice finish, though. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
That sharp rye flavor with that grain quality,
right. And you'll get that out of a lot of these with them being a high rye.
Do you know what the mash bill is on offhand?
Not offhand, no.
Because I can't remember. I knew it was high rye, but I didn't remember how high. You know, sometimes high rye means not that high, right. But sometimes high rye is like almost a rye whiskey. Oh, that's good. What we got from Trevor here? The 20 pick I'm drinking says allspice, but I wait. The 20 pick I am drinking says allspice. I get, but says mint. I don't get any mint. Or any of you guys picks getting mint? Yeah, we had the one. I think it was the first one.
I think so too. Yeah, but that would have been the distillery pick, right?
Yeah, the distillery pick. The first one we had, mint was a note, and I picked it up pretty right away. There's been a lot of herbal qualities. I think that's a pretty consistent New Riff flavor as well. Is a lot of them have some kind of herb. Some of it is minty. Some of it is like a baking spice. Even some of it is like that lemony thing I was finding. That was like lemony but earthy. I love mint as a note. I know it has, I gotta stop blocking your face. Sorry, Matt. Somebody in the chat reminded me when I blocked Matt's face over and over again, crying out loud. Yeah, I think the mint does show up. Some of these notes, though, are, this one is really floral. Yeah, some of them are really floral. The mint is one of those notes where some people find it all the time. Some people can never find it. And when you put that note on a bottle, I think you're almost guaranteed somebody's going to be like, oh, this isn't mint at all. Unless it's just like a fucking candy cane in your nose. Otherwise, it's kind of a crapshoot. Well, I'm going to clear my palate for a minute.
Sure.
Where do you think we should go from here?
Well, we could go to the highest proof pick that I'm aware of.
Let's do it.
And this one's actually absolutely phenomenal. It's a pick from Chili's. And this one is 116.3.
116.3. That is relatively high. That's 58.15%. For those of you who don't want to do the math at home. So people might not know. Tell them a little bit about Chili's.
I honestly am not super familiar with it. I know it's in Greenfield.
Yep. Yeah, I mean it's a liquor store in Greenfield, but I know it's kind of known for their picks. Like they've been doing picks for a long time. Yeah. And so, it's sort of like the Rural Inn in that way that people, the picks sort of outclass the size of the store, and people know it and they seek it out and they go for it. When you see Chili's picks, people will buy them.
I will say this was my favorite pick up until recently. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this one is really
a bunch of messages. It'll blow my phone up. Come go away. Come watch the live stream. Talk to me here. Okay. Now I get this cracker out of my mouth. Maybe a mistake. Should have eaten half the cracker, not the whole cracker. Now, instead of tasting notes, this one says, thanks, and then lists the names of all the people, I assume, that were on the pick. And it says, Chili's #1. I have mixed feelings about that. I kind of like the fact that they said, no, fuck you, no tasting notes, you figure it out. That kind of makes me happy. But that part of me that's like, I want to know. Tell me. What are you? That one prefers tasting notes. Okay. Ooh. I'm still amazed that we've had, this is the 5th one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every one of these has been meaningfully different.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you get a lot of the same, like, base notes, I guess. You get the oak, and a lot of them you'll pick out the rye at the end of it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, as far as all of the other notes that you get off of it, I mean, it changes quite drastically throughout all the picks.
It really does. I love the smell of this one so much.
It's good.
Oh my gosh. Totally agree, Trevor. For 4 to 5 year stuff, it's unbelievable how good this is. And $50 for the store picks. Like, that to me is the big standout point. Like, a relatively young distillery doing store picks for $50 that are this good is incredible. on 3 different levels. You know, when you're talking about somebody like Elijah Craig, yeah, they can do a $30 score pick, but they're making so much product.
For sure.
Like, it's so easy. They don't have to. Like, the size of New Riff. New Riff is big for a small distillery. You know, it's a little fish in a big pond. But if you compare it to craft distilleries, it's humongous. But even still, the percentage of barrels that they're making that are store pick worthy is very high. They are doing something right over there. So, salute to them. God, this nose is just really hitting the right spots for me. I get a lot of like sweet vanilla.
Mm-hmm.
Get a little bit of some kind of baking spice. Maybe cinnamon. Oh, excuse me. Can't breathe the whiskey either. Last time I tried to breathe it through my throat and that didn't work, and now I'm trying to breathe it and it doesn't work either. You just can't breathe whiskey, guys. Take it from me. Wow. Now you can taste the proof on this. This is hotter than a lot of the ones we've tasted, but I don't mind it at all because it's not sharp at all. It's hot. It's got a high alcohol concentration, but it doesn't have that sharpness. It's wonderfully, and then on the finish, I got this like, I want to say it was like creme brulee. It was like creamy and sweet and gentle on the finish. I love seeing that kind of sweet note on the finish. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Doesn't show up as much as I'd like it to in whiskey. A lot of times you end with almost always rye spice, barrel spice. Those are very standard issue finishes, but God, if you can make the whiskey finish on creme brulee, you've got my vote 10 times out of 10, my friend. That's what I want to see.
There's a little bit of green apple on the nose.
After you taste it, yep. That fruitiness starts to show up. Oh, man. Now, right off the bat, you get sweetness. I think probably still vanilla. Then it kind of switches in the mid palate. You get that oakiness, that woodiness. And the finish, I get this little pepper on the tongue. It's like dancing on the tongue. And I get this creamy sweetness. That's a really cool pour.
See, I'm getting like that. It's not really creme brulee, but I'm getting like a creamy buttery up front as it first comes in.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's definitely in there. All right, let's take a. Oh yeah, this one doesn't have any fucking notes on it. All right, I can't even cheat if I wanted to.
We can check mine.
Yeah, let's check. Let's check.
We'll have something to look at.
Yeah, let's check Matt's previous tasting note here.
Let's see. Chilies. I got okay. Oh, this one was interesting. First time I tried it, I was actually pretty excited about it.
This is exciting. You wrote that down.
Yeah.
I love that. Aroma, rye, brown sugar, graham cracker, marshmallow, that fucking creme brulee. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be graham cracker and marshmallow. Chocolate. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, shit. Go back to that empty glass. It's very chocolatey. Woody chocolate. Taste, oak and char. These are great notes, Matt. I love these notes.
This one, I
love these notes. Oak char, tobacco, and pumpkin seed. That's a great cut. I love that. I love you even wrote "what the fuck" after you said pumpkin seed. That's
and that was after I added water to it.
Yeah.
As well. So that made.
Well, now I gotta try it and add a little water. Because, I mean, I want to taste the pumpkin seed. All right, we're just gonna the tiniest drop because I added very little whiskey back into this glass. Oh, this is gonna. Fuck. That didn't go well. When all else fails, just add more whiskey. Okay. You want to get back in on that? Get a little pumpkin seed taste test. Yeah, Trevor's excited about that one too. It's exciting, my man. It's exciting stuff. All right. While we're doing this, we got this. I got a couple people I know on this stream that are from Ohio. This is from the Ohio Liquor Control Board. This is Ohio's first new Riff pick. But, yeah. Signed by the founder there. Matt's debating about whether or not to open it. Should we open it? Tell us in the chat. Should we open it or not? We get a lot of shaking on this. Let me try to... There we go. All right. Definitely get that graham cracker. That's totally what that is. And I get like a marshmallow fluff. I think Trevor's jealous. Now, I haven't eaten a lot of pumpkin seeds in my life, but I think I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Because a definite, like, one of the things I talk about a lot is different nut notes. The walnut, the almond. There's a really particular nuttiness in the mid palate of this when you added the water to it. That it's got a... It reminds me a little bit of sunflower seeds, but it's not as sweet as the sunflower seed nut. And so I'm betting that's where that pumpkin seed note is. Yeah, it's that seedy quality.
Yeah, but I'm still getting it. I mean, for me personally, throughout my life, whenever Halloween would come around, it was always a family tradition to take baked pumpkin seeds.
Yes, yes.
So I'm somewhat familiar with that flavor, and for some reason, whenever I was taking notes on this, that's as soon as it hit me, that's exactly what it is.
See, and I love that too, because the reason I knew that note was a great note is not because it's so obscure, even though it is, but because I know it's like that brought you back to a memory.
Yeah.
Like that's not, so you'll get pretentious notes sometimes that are obviously like just somebody trying to be fancy, but sometimes you'll see these weird notes that stand out to you. If you know who does those notes, ask them what that was about, because I guarantee you there's a story behind it, like that. There's always a story behind those strange notes. Now, if you get about 8 whiskeys in me and then I start talking about eating dessert on a deck, maybe not. But there are some great tasting notes out there for some interesting whiskeys. So. Oh, that's good stuff. Well, Trevor wants you to open the Ohio pick.
He wants me to open it, huh?
Yeah, he wants you to open it because he's in Ohio. And he said he missed out on the picks. The closest one to him was an hour away, and it sold out before he got there. That's sad.
Well,
oh, shit.
I will say, when I got that bottle, I was also given a sample from another bottle. So I have tried it. I do have notes on it. And it was phenomenal. And it's kind of the crown jewel of the new Riff collection for me personally. So,
it's pretty cool.
We'll wait on it for a second.
All right.
We might have. At the end of the day, it's bourbon.
That's right. That's true.
I'm not. I mean, obviously, all of these are open. That's the only bottle I don't have open.
Right.
So,
let's move that right here for now.
Yeah, we'll move it there.
I want to look at what else we've got sitting out on this table. Maybe you can persuade him, Trevor. Let's see what your best persuasion is. Time to throw some game. Okay, what do we have here? We've tried
do we need to make a we've tried and have not tried?
Yeah, so let's take this one and scoot those two over, because we've tried both of those roll in ones. So you can just leave them all over there. Let's put all the tried ones right there.
Okay.
We haven't tried this one.
We haven't tried that one. We've tried the chilies.
We've tried both roll ins. We've tried the chilies. We've tried those two.
Friend from Vine and Table.
Haven't tried Vine and Table. Okay. So we haven't tried any of these.
Yep.
All right. We got all kinds of goodness here, guys. You know what? Let's try the Vine and Table.
Okay.
Because I have not had the Vine and Table ones, and I like a lot of the picks they do. We got Joseph and David up there at Vine and Table. Good people.
Great guys.
Matter of fact, in the near future, I will be reviewing some pours that they provided me. A lot of them not whiskeys. And I'm happy that they did that. I wanted to kind of expand my palate, try some things I never would have picked up off the shelf before. And so I went up there and talked with the guys, and they were very generous and offered me several different samples of everything from the first absinthe legally made in the European Union, to a mezcal that's made by hanging raw chicken over the vat where it's being made. All kinds of crazy stuff. So there's going to be some fun videos coming in the future. But the most recent one that's coming up pretty soon is a Swedish organic, locally sourced whiskey. Rye. It's 100% rye, which I did not expect to like as much as I did. So that's coming up soon. You'll see that on the channel in the next couple weeks for sure. Now enough of my jabbering and self-promotion. Let's pour some vine and table. Now, once you try this many new riffs in a row, you start to pick out certain consistencies. Mm-hmm. This one, for me, honestly, is hitting a lot of... This is like the most... maybe quintessential new riff nose to me. Like, there's nothing particularly offensive. It's got that subtle oakiness. It's got that subtle herbalness. It's a little bit of the lemony, fruity...
Not as much as the sweetness as on some of them.
Right, yeah. This isn't as sweet as a lot of them. That's totally right. Maybe even a little bitter. Mm-hmm. Yep. Trevor doesn't want to force you to open the bottle. Trevor's a good guy. I got to come out and visit Trevor sometime soon. Like you, Matt, Trevor is one of my patrons, and I love having you guys be a part of the show. The Patreon is something that I'm looking in the near future to totally revamp. It's going to be specifically focused on making sure you guys are getting as much value as possible. I really appreciate, you guys, Trevor, Matt, and everybody for being a part of that and helping. That's what helps keep the show going. I mean, the unfortunate reality is this stuff's expensive. I love doing it, but, I've got to find ways to make sure I can keep doing it. So if you've got ideas for benefits you think would be good for different tiers, shoot me an email, reach out to me on a Facebook message, wherever you can get a hold of me, Instagram, Twitter, I don't care. I really want this to be democratic. I know that I could just run this like a, autocrat and just say, no, that's how I'm going to do it and fucking deal with it. I don't want to do that. That's not my style. This is a community. Bourbon's a communal thing.
Absolutely.
So, let's work together and build some pretty freaking fun, awesome communities. I got some fun stuff in the future. I want to do some virtual tastings. I'm going also, I'll tell you this has been on my mind. I've got a blend, a personal blend of whiskeys. It's the best whiskey I've ever tasted still. And it was just a random blend that I did offhandedly. And I put it in a bottle and didn't touch it. And it's been there for 6 months. So did I ruin it? Did I waste it? Or did I make it even better? I want to find out as a group. So that's coming to the Patreon. That's going to be for the $12 and up members only. But y'all are going to get to try this along with me in some sort of video conference format. And it's going to be a lot of fun because I'm super excited about it. And I will also send out, I've got a sheet. I know exactly how I made it down to the 100th of an ounce. I have found a great spreadsheet online and was able to put in all the information about each whiskey I added when I added it. Mm-hmm. And then it has a macro button that when you take a couple ounces out, and I measured everything. Every time I measured it, anything I put in, anything I took out, I measured. Just say I take out 2 ounces, and it will take out 2 ounces from the pot, and then it will change all of the breakdowns of what you put into it.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, so you know exactly at any given point in time what that blend is exactly, which is really cool. I love that. So I put that up in a couple different videos. I'll probably share that on the Patreon as well, just so people can have access to that spreadsheet, because it's not my product. It was just up on Reddit somewhere. But if you guys want to make, I think it'd be really cool, Matt, for you to mix some of these together and try to make the master new riff blend. I think that'd be fun.
I mean, yeah, sure.
I think that'd be a fun time. But anyway, back to the wine and table for you. I really like this.
Yeah, it's not. Nothing's really jumping out. I mean,
No.
It's a nice nose. It's not super complex.
No.
It's
just nice.
It's a good bourbon.
This is some back porch sipping whiskey.
Yeah, that's exactly.
They just sit out there. I'm not trying to be fancy. I'm not trying to put on a show. I'm just sitting on my back porch in a rocking chair, sipping on this, just watching the sun go down.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, let's give it a taste. I got the oak right up front. Mid palate. Oh, I get some honey. Get some chocolate. There's something bitter in there.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
I wish I knew what it was. There's some kind of bitter note in the mid palate. It's not wood. The wood came first for me, at least. But there's some kind of bitter note in the mid palate there.
Yeah, it's like super bitter.
The finish is really soft, though.
It gets there.
Yeah.
I don't know. With newer, if I've noticed, like there isn't like a definitive finish on it. It lingers. It stays around a while, and it generally changes quite a bit.
The only one that had a real specific finish for me was which one was it? May have been the Chili's pick. It was one of them where I said like I got that really specific note right at the very end.
The creme brulee on it.
Yeah, I think that was the Chili's.
I think
pick.
it was Chili's pick.
That was that's the only one that had like a proper finish because it was like now we're done and here it is. Yeah. Everything else, you're right. It kind of just it morphs from the mid palate, but it's not. There's not a line in the sand. You can't point to it and go like, here's how it finishes. And you can kind of tell that from the tasting notes. Like the tasting notes really are two noted. They say here's where it starts, here's where it goes. But I always do my tasting notes 3 noted. I do the right at the start, I do a mid palate, I do a finish. So that tells me they kind of know, or whoever's writing these notes understands that like, hey, these don't really finish in the traditional sense. And you know, you got to give them some slack. It's a 4-year whiskey. Like this hasn't spent 15 or 20 years on wood. I'm gonna cheat. Oh, okay. It was a little bit worn off. Aromas of polished oak stave. What the fuck does that mean? Polished oak stave?
Well, I mean, if you polish it, I guess it smells different, right?
I guess. But do you smell polish?
I mean, I hope not.
Me too, man. Me too. Jesus. Chai, tea, and orange zest. Now, I do get the tea note. There's that bitterness that we had talked about.
Yep.
It's probably that tea and the creaminess. I always think of chai in particular. Chai, and I'm not a tea drinker. I'm actually allergic to a lot of different teas, but that's neither here nor there. But the notes you smell on a chai are creamy, and I get a creaminess in the nose. And then orange zest, which I definitely get. All these have some sort of citrus fruit. Everything we've tasted thus far has had either a berry or a citrus fruit. Those are very, very common notes. Then it says it opens into flavors of honeycomb, stone fruit, and zesty rye forward spice. Now, I hate the note stone fruit because it's broad as shit. There are a bunch of different fruits that are stone fruit. It's like saying baking spice. And I know I say that a lot, but I always try to then say, all right, here's the specific baking spice I think it is. To me, stone fruit on a bottle is a lazy note. Now, maybe, what is it, grilled apricots? Maybe that's the opposite. Maybe that's a little aggressive. But stone fruit, come on, guys. What kind of stone fruit? Tell me which note. Trevor says, ugh, polish. Yeah, yeah. I don't know where they're coming from with that. Maybe he was smelling polish in the corner and decided to write it on the bottle. I don't know.
We got a lot of whiskeys here, so I'm going to go ahead and refill our water glasses.
All right, perfect, man. I'm going to hand you this. Perfect. All right, let me get out of his way here. While Matt is gone, I'll say all kinds of weird things about him. Yeah. I definitely get the honeycomb. You definitely get that honey sweetness. That honey's definitely there. Now, I'm not sure specifically what the difference between honeycomb and honey is. I mean, I'm sure there's a difference, but I don't know what it is offhand. I couldn't tell you. Also, apologies if we get a lot of screen bouncing. I don't know why that's happening, but what are you gonna do? Thank you. I get there's definitely like a pear, either apple or pear. There's definitely some sort of fruity note. I wouldn't call it just generic stone fruit though. Like to me, generic stone fruit means like there's something definitely missing, and you can't put your finger on it. But to me, I can put my finger on it. It's either apple or pear. I don't even think those are stone fruit. Anybody know what stone fruit actually means? I don't have any freaking idea. He locked it. That's a smart man. He may as well start snooping otherwise. I'm already snooping. I'd be snooping a lot harder if this thing wasn't fucking locked, but that's smart. That's smart. Lock your cabinets, ladies and gentlemen. Hide your kids, hide your wife. Let's quote some old memes. I'm gonna rinse out my glass. We're gonna come in here. I think we'll probably do one more on the live stream here. Thank you guys for sticking around. Thank you guys for dealing with the stupid broken link. I have no idea why that happened. You know, I thought maybe it was Matt's internet. So did he. Obviously, it wasn't because this stream has been going fine. What are you going to do? Technology, am I right? But let's do one more in this video. And I think I'm going to do the one that I brought that Matt hasn't tried yet because I want to hear his first response. So this one's going to be on him to offer some notes. This is the Crown Liquors, which is one of my favorite stores. I go there a lot. Matter of fact, they were just actually looted recently during some of the protests that turned into riots in Indianapolis. So I'm definitely going to go support this store a whole hell of a lot more because you know, they do good work, and I really like what they're about. Matter of fact, something cool that they did even after they were looted, and this takes you know, a big person to do. After they were looted, you know, obviously they did the insurance claims and reboarded up the store, but they hired a local artist to support the protesters and to draw quotes about peaceful protest, about its value on the wood blocking up the windows. And that just, to me, that is huge. Like, if somebody, you know, you are personally negatively affected by the ancillary activities surrounding all this, and you still come up and say, and, you know, show that kind of support, like, that takes a big person. So kudos, big long-winded kudos to Crown Liquors, because I respect the hell out of that. I'm a big believer in free speech, and protesting is all about free speech. It really is. Like, this country was built on the fact that you can say the thing you need to say, even if it's unpopular, even if it's dangerous. So yeah, that's right, Trevor. These are stand-up people. So anyway, let's drink some whiskey. Now, this one Matt hasn't had yet, so I won't let him read the flavor notes. But I will tell you, this is the Crown Liquors 30. It says 30 years Crown Liquors on it, so I think it must be their 30th anniversary. It was distilled 4715, barrel bottled 530, 19. It's 113 proof. Let's give it a shot. And I am going to make you take the lead on this one, Matt, because you have not tried this before. I've drank pretty much the rest of that bottle. so this one's on you. I will move the bottle out of your way. I love the smell of this.
Yeah, it's a good smell. I'm getting the fruit. It's not super prominent, but it's in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get that too.
I'm kind of it's kind of the same sweetness we got in some of the past ones, but it's not as strong. It's
There's a subtle sweetness to this, yeah.
Getting a slight corn to it.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that corn.
The fruit on that's really standing out to me, though. It's like a mixed berry almost.
Yeah.
That's a really good nose, though.
Yeah, I really like it.
Because I'm not usually a big fan of fruity noses when it's like an obvious fruit, but whenever there's just slight fruit in there, I really like.
You like the subtleness of the fruit.
I like the subtle fruit.
Okay. See, I love the fruit bombs, but I know they're not for everybody. But yeah, there's a good subtle fruitiness in this.
It's got some pepper to it.
Yeah, it does. It's got some spice.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, in a good way. I like it.
Yeah, it's hot on the finish, but
it is a little hot on the finish.
But I'm not offended by it. It's pretty nice.
I get a lot of herbal notes on the taste myself. Got anything else you want to pull out of that one?
No, I get the herbal like you're talking about. I don't know. I'm not getting a whole lot out of it, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, we have been quite the lineup before it.
Right.
Well, let me tell you what they say, and then you can tell me which ones you find and which ones you don't. Now, I'll say this right off the bat. I'm going to start at the end, actually. It says, finishes quick and dry. I agree with that.
Yes.
It finishes quick and dry.
Absolutely.
That's absolutely true. Aromas of spearmint and black tea. I get some mintiness. I don't know if I get black tea. There's an herbal quality, but I'm not sure I would call it black tea. Black tea is like really strong. Black tea is going to grab a hold of you and go, this is an herb. I don't get that.
I've gotten tea in pours before, but I'm not pulling out of this one.
No. I get that fruitiness. They don't ever talk about fruitiness in this at all, which I think is weird because there's definitely a fruitiness.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
In a good way. It's subtle, but it's definitely there, and I really like it. Anyway. Flavors of spicy rye and cinnamon with a touch of honey on the end. Now, the rye spice is definitely there. But like you have said before, that's a pretty consistent note in these. I'm going to answer your question in a minute, Trevor, I promise. The cinnamon in this one, to me, it just reads like barrel bitter. Like, there's like this herbal quality, but it's like a bitter, raw earthiness. And that to me reads barrel bitter. I mean, I see why they call it cinnamon, because like if you literally take your finger, lick it, dip it in cinnamon, and lick it again, that's what it tastes like.
It's not a sweetened cinnamon.
No.
It's
raw cinnamon. So I can see it. I don't know if I agree with it, but touch of honey on the finish, I do get that.
And I think that has to do with it finishing dry as well.
Yes, I agree. Well, I think we might enjoy some more pours, but we're not going to do any more on video. Trevor's question, which one of these was our favorite that we tried today? That's a good question. We tried, in this video, 7 different new Riff pours. And, it's hard for them to not all blend together. But I really like that Chili's pick. I love the sweetness coming out of the bottom of that. I think my favorite nose, honestly, was the Vine and Table because it wasn't unique at all, which is weird. Usually people love the uniques. They stand out. But something about having just that prototype of really good bourbon from what this place can do. That is like the golden standard of New Riff.
I agree.
Is that Vine and Table pour. So that nose really does it for me. Just in terms of the flavor, though, I might have to say that distillery pick. The Distiller's selection was the most different, I think.
And it was an easy drink the entire way through.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which that tells you something, because the ones I picked, 2 of the 3 that I picked as my favorites were both easy drinkers. The Vine and Table, and actually the Chili's was a pretty easy drinker too, but the Vine and Table in particular and the Distillery Pick, those were both easy drinkers. And I feel like New Riff makes that kind of pour really well. I like their richer, earthier tones. I like when they do some interesting sharpness with the citrus notes and with the barrel notes and the tea notes that keep coming up and the mint notes that keep coming up. But God, when they just focus on making something that's sweet, sippable, and doesn't require too much thought, they knock it out of the park. The good news about that is Distillery Picks, just go to the distillery. Yeah. So if you're ever in Kentucky, go check out New Riff, see if they got a Distillery Pick, because boy, that was just hitting all the notes for me. So they know what they're doing down there. Thank you so much, Matt, for having me over.
Yeah,
Thanks
problem.
for sharing all this great whiskey with me. Thank you all for watching the channel, staying engaged. It means the world to me. I love doing this stuff. I want to keep doing this stuff. So let's grow together. All right. In the meantime, let's keep drinking like professionals. Cheers. I think Matt's empty.
I'm empty, but
we'll take care of that off camera.
Cheers.